put the pipe on, but I have not locked down the back of it. I've come over here, and I don't know how well the light is, but I've gotten the pipe to absolutely fit right along where the exhaust, where it should be on the exhaust manifold. I did have to use a pry bar a little bit when I was tightening it down to hold the pipe up against the cylinder. So I've gotten this pretty tight where I want it. Now what I'll do is come on this side over here, and here's where you want it. Oh shit, damn it. Oops. As I was saying, now I'll do my adjustments from right here. What's important, and this is loose right in here, this is loose, but you can see where the back of the pipe, you can see where it's not fitting exactly in here as it should. It's at a wedge kind of. Okay, what I want to do is I want to put a little washer in here so that when I go to tighten this up, this doesn't tweak the pipe this way towards this. I want to keep the pipe exactly where it is right here, the fittings where they are, and I just want to make sure it's tight. Another thing you have to look at, and this does happen a lot, is this bolt right down here. Okay, and this happens with a lot of different type of pipes. You want to make sure that that bolt does not touch the metal right here, because with all the vibration and everything else, if that bolt is touching, it will wear a hole right through your metal very, very quickly. Okay, it'll first start to dent it, and then it'll start to ping it, ping, and then it'll put a hole in it. Now I know if I tighten this up a little bit, it's going to pull the pipe outward. Say it's straight like that, it's going to pull it outward a little bit, so it'll pull that out just a tiny bit. But even if you have the really smallest gap, that's kind of really, I'd like a little bigger gap than what it is right there. But I've taken washers and put them on the inside here. I put washers on the inside. You can see where the tape is right there. On the inside of this one, I've used a smaller diameter bolt so that I could get in at a different angle. And you can see where it's tightened back here on the lower bolt and the upper bolt. I can't see too well. And if you look down, if you look straight down at it, let's see if we can zoom that in just a little bit. You can see where, according to the pipe and the tie down piece, they are, you can see how crooked they look. Well, that's just what your pipe is going to do. But I've adjusted the pipe to the cylinder. Okay? And that's the most important thing. The cylinder will have, the exhaust cylinder, the most free flow that it can have. And I've gotten the mounting hardware where as close as I can to it. Now all I have to do is find a way to put some spacers in between these areas right here, and so that the pipe will be tight. It'll be tight, but it won't be tweaked. If I tighten that up fully, what it'll do is it'll drag the black part over to the silver part, and it will bend the pipe to the left. And that's one thing I don't want to do, because bending the pipe in any fashion will tweak either these welds or any of these welds along here, and that's what you don't want. Now I put on a lot of pipes, and I've experimented a lot with trying to get the pipes to fit right. Now with this thing right here, you can put your pipe on whatever pipe that you have. Even if you have hardware that is mounted on the pipe here. You can still do your washer tweaking in here. You'll never notice it. No one will never notice it. And your pipe may be just a tiny bit. If you look from the back of the bike, the pipe may be a little bit this way, or a little bit that way, or a little bit up, or a little bit down, but you won't notice it. I won't notice it. Your pipe is running with 10% less obstruction, because if your exhaust pipe hole does not match up with the manifold, okay, if it's even off by just a little bit, what that means is that orifice that's supposed to be 100% open, say it's 1 inch. A 1 inch diameter opening, it's supposed to be 1 inch, is now 3/4 of an inch, or 7/8, 14/16. You are putting out the same amount of exhaust in a smaller hole. And what that's doing is obstructing your air pump's breathing process. Now, that may not seem like a lot, but when you're got a 50cc motor or a little bit bigger and you're trying to get the most output that you can out of it at top speed, say 10,000 RPM or whatever, I've only had this up to about 9,200 RPM. I don't know what the top speed is supposed to be. But if you're trying to eke out every little bit of power, you want to have your motor as free-flowing as you can. And that's all I have to say about that. So that's how you mount the pipe, any pipe, if you want it to work better. Mount it to the cylinder first, and then tweak all your settings down here last. And whatever you do, don't bend the pipe. Don't put any pressure on the pipe, and do not let any kind of screws or bolts hit the pipe right there. Okay, what I may have to do with this right here is actually take this off, and I have 2 washers there. I may just put on 1 so I can get myself another, I don't know, 1/16 of an inch or 2 millimeters clearance. It's better to have clearance, little clearance, than no clearance. And I bit the bullet. I just want to say I just ordered 2, a right and a left, SA50, SR50, year 2000 body panels. Brand new. And the only reason I did it is because this body panel right here is falling apart, and it's been broken and re-glued and re-JB welded so many times that it's just not going to hold up forever. And I will have at least a couple of more new body panels when they decide one day just to stop selling them, because that's what happens with a lot of these bikes. Well, actually with every model, companies only carry the parts so long, the stock parts, and then they'll stop. What they'll start doing is they'll start going, okay, well, we'll sell you the right panel, but we won't sell you the left one. And that's basically, so it's worthless. And in a way, to them, it's like, well, we're not going to sell you the spare parts, so you're going to have to buy something new. Which is nice, but they don't have any new two-strokes, not in America. Because of all of our crazy ass bullshit regulations that are just killing business. You look at China, you look at Japan, you look at all these, India, you look at these growing markets, they don't have regulation. They have the free market. They're making things, selling things and making money. That's the way America used to do it. Now, there's so many regulations in America that you cannot step on the grass without having to make sure that the spotted sea snail of the Tasmanian variety isn't underneath, and you've ruined its habitat. Well, fuck the snail. Mopeds rule. Thank you.